can't remember the last time we've had a guest. Well, so we had a guest, like an interview. Mm-hmm. And then we had, when was Dune? I guess when we had Marshall on to talk to us about Dune, but that was like back in the fall.
October. Yep.
I think that was it.
We had Emily for The Grinch.
Oh, that doesn't count.
Why not?
Because she was arguing the wrong film. Yeah, that didn't happen. But
I think
okay.
it does. But
and the only reason I bring this up is because there's been times on and off where we'll go through like guest dry spells, right. And then all of a sudden we have a bunch of guests, lined up in a little while. Yeah. And I'm like, I was thinking about that today, and it made me think two things. Number one, I miss hearing you say we're not alone in the universe. Because even the last couple of times we've had guests, because it's such a stupid line, but it's so good. Like that's what makes it so good.
That was my line, but go on.
I am going to edit together a montage of all of the times you've said we're not alone in the universe.
Right. But I think you may have done it the first time. I'm not confident enough to put money on it.
I was like one and done, and you're like, "Ooh, that's good. I'll take it." And then you just like ran with it. And the other thing I was thinking is, do you know why we don't have more guests than we do?
Because no, why?
Because me neither. Because we just don't. Because I was like, I don't know. It was so simple this time around. Because I think in our minds we're like, oh, it's like the 250,000th episode. We better get someone in here to like talk with us. Whereas like, this is just like, I don't know. It's a random episode for a fairly random movie. And we're just like, hey, it would just be fun to have another person in here. We haven't had Carl on since the Star Wars days.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, hey, Carl.
Hey. For a second there, I thought, man, this is just like I'm listening, but in person. It's like I'm a silent audience member.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
which is like...
you're still muted. I haven't...
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
You got it?
Yeah. You're on now.
Yeah.
So it's fun because, not only is this the first episode that Carl's been on since... God, what episode was that? Did you look it up, Pete?
Star Wars was the last one.
Yeah, so I think the last one we did in person with me, we did A New Hope, and then I think he did Revenge of the Sith with us, but you guys were like in his garage in a blanket, and I was remotely somewhere else.
It was so cold.
Star Wars 2019 lead up to Rise of Skywalker, so it's been...
Because he had...
Since then, I've listened to you guys and your podcast, and every time you say something stupid, I can't interrupt. Well, now I can.
So I was gonna that kills the joke, because I was gonna say, not only is this the first episode that Carl's been on since 2019, it's also the first episode he's listened to since then. So that's exciting. But why? I'm trying to think of it now. I was like, oh, yeah, we were in Carl's garage because he had a newborn. We didn't want to wake him. And I'm like, no, we didn't. Why the hell were we in your garage?
Was it Wi-Fi related?
It was. No, I think it was...
Your internet
Emily wanted to watch TV. No, Emily wanted to watch TV, and the layout of my house, either we're at the end of the house where the bedrooms are and the daughter was sleeping, or we're at the other end of the house, but Emily wants to watch TV.
Right. But it was also like
I'd have the option, and it was
I'd have to go back and listen. But it was also like 7:30 in the morning or something stupid.
It was early.
We recorded, so that is the earliest we've ever recorded. Yeah. Like, I was there, we did it, and then I left before breakfast. And I know I left before breakfast because I was not offered breakfast. And so there's that.
It was... Okay, I'm going to say... I will explain why it was early, and then we will get into what we're doing today. I vividly remember it had something to do with Brady getting like his snow tires changed before he went back to school.
That's why I was in town.
Even if I offered you breakfast, you were gone.
Yeah, so I remember like the three-way message going like, hey, tires going on, hey, gotta go. And then we recorded, and then you had to go pick them up or some such. But the point is,
Yeah,
it's been
right, because he picked me up. Right. Yeah, okay. That's, you know when you sit around and you like reminisce about really fun memories in your life, and you're like, you're pulling out all these fun details. Do you remember the time I got my tires changed? Is not like, these are details that are coming back to me, but I'm like, how sad is my life?
What's more fun is Pete and I were reminiscing about the old setup.
Yes.
And how we were sharing a mic and
sharing
earbuds and being nice and close to each other. And now I'm at the opposite end of a room from him.
Different mics, opposite end of the room, better audio quality, not sitting on each other's laps.
We each have our own headphones.
Yeah,
upgrades,
now,
man. You guys have come a long way.
Yeah.
Now you and Carl have shared a microphone, Pete. Mm-hmm. But there is photographic evidence that Carl and I have shared a bathtub.
Yep, somewhere out there.
With bubbles.
Neither of us have said evidence.
We don't,
It's in somebody else's possession.
That is dangerous.
Yeah.
Very
we don't know where
sketchy.
it is.
No.
Well,
hello and welcome.
Welcome to the Movie Men podcast. I am Brady. No, I'm not Brady. I'm Peter with Brady and with Carl. My goodness,
Jeez.
what a shambles
Hello,
of an episode.
everybody.
Wait. Pete, for a while now, you have been talking about wanting to do an episode. And this shocks me. This is something, I don't know if we've talked about this on the show. Maybe we have.
Yeah.
This surprised me more than anything.
Sure.
That this was your suggestion. You came up with this. Pulling back the curtain, as we sometimes do, every so often, Pete will come to me with an idea, and I'll be like, yeah, okay, sure. Inside, and then outside, I'm like, oh, wow, Pete, that's a great idea. And then we do it. One day, though, he came to me with an idea that was so good and so... like it seems so unlike Pete, not because it was good, but just because it was just like an unlike Pete idea. Pete was
and
like,
"How good was it?"
For the context, I it was just an idea. It's not something I've committed to. I just want.
we're doing it. Yeah,
I don't know about that. I'm not sure.
No. We're streaking
the
in the
baseball thing again, but he's added some crazy
I want to
idea.
do that so bad. Okay, no, but one day Pete was like, "Hey, I was thinking, and we really should just do an episode where we like pour a couple drinks for ourselves. We should just drink while we're podcasting." And I'm like, "Well, I'm always drinking while we're I'm always drinking. Like, I've got a gin with me right now. I'm always drinking while we're podcasting."
I noticed the klingle jingle of the ice cubes.
I've heard every so often. Every
so often.
Yeah.
Pete has offered me a McLean's Blonde from Hanover.
What the hell?
It's very, very tasty.
What the hell?
Product placement.
But I was like, okay, well, yeah, we can do that. I was like, and I said, but furthermore, like, I think it's got to be like a video episode, or it's got to be a live stream, because if there's not a video component, like if you can't see us visibly getting more and more like red-nosed, then what do we, then like how much do you have to drink over the course of an hour-long podcast, right? Like, if the point isn't, well, no, because I'm just like, he's like, well, I don't want to get drunk, and I'm like, well, then what is the benefit to the listener? Right? If it's simply just like, hey, we should pour ourselves a scotch while
the conversation just gets more slurred and
I'm just like, if we should just, if the point is to just pour ourselves a scotch while we're recording the episode, then for God's sake, man, pour yourself a scotch. Like, what do you... Right? Whereas, because if we're not going to get on and be like, hey, everyone, by the way, in this episode, we're drinking. And again, in which case, if you're not sloshed by the end, people are going to feel ripped off, right? Whereas if it's more like, like if we can get ourselves like, like a nice velvety red smoking jacket and a nice glass and some scotch
fancy
and whatever.
high back chairs.
And do it on video, then I think there. So anyways, all of that is for me to say, with you calling yourself Brady, is that this episode and I've just somehow missed it?
No, that was just me being clumsy and fumbling in words.
Okay. All right.
Well, and it could be inebriation of the lack of sleep variety, which I'm sure all of us can relate to.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I went through I didn't talk about this on the podcast. But so I just wrapped up school, so I'm done. I have no school, no prospects, and no future. But in that final week of school, there was a day. It sort of before I spent I spent like 3 days entirely in bed, and prior to that, I think it was about a 5-day period, collectively with about 7 or 8 hours of sleep. And like I got to school on the Monday, which was like the final day of no sleep. And people were like asking me like, "Are you okay?"
Yeah.
Like, because my eyes, and I've got a picture of it, my eyes were so bloodshot. just from strain. Just
Right.
from like having not closed them long enough. Yeah. And so that was like crazy. And then I was driving home from somewhere, and this is the first time it's ever happened to me. I also had, over the course of like 36 hours, I had 4 energy drinks in me because I was like, I got to stay up and finish this. And then I was like, and now I got to go to school. Like I woke up after 3 hours of sleep and chugged an energy drink as my breakfast because I had to go deliver a half-hour seminar. And I'm like, I have got to be like, this has got to be like a line of cocaine for me that just gets me through what I got to do. And then if I die afterwards, it's fine. But I was driving home from... This never happened to me before. I was driving home from somewhere, and I started hallucinating while I was driving.
That's
like,
not good.
Like, road signs were going past me, and
That's not good.
and there were, like, blurry trail... Like, all of the road signs had tails on them and stuff.
Not good.
It was freaky. And I'd read about that. I knew you could hallucinate from lack of sleep, but I was like...
that too.
Yeah, I was like, this is simultaneously fun and also very frightening. Just because I'm like, what am I doing?
Something similar.
Am I doing irreversible damage? But yeah, so this is kind of a weird episode for us.
Yes.
It's not a vote.
It's not a vote. It's from
It's
a
not
past
a new release.
vote. It's from a past vote, though.
Yeah, yeah. So it's not a vote. It's not a new release. It's, well, that's, now we're getting into politics. We're here doing The Rock, if you're illiterate and didn't read the title before you clicked on it.
Not the Stone kind and not the Dwayne Johnson kind.
Right.
Yeah. Although, man, if
So-
you were to do a remake of this movie, which
But
you
you'd have
shouldn't
to have
do.
Dwayne Johnson in it.
Yeah,
It'd be a
The
sin
Rock would
against-
have to play John Mason.
Yeah.
Really?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, but who's
Listen,
playing...
here's a hot take. Listen,
Yeah.
here's a hot take.
Yeah.
There is, so I'm going to hit you with a fact, and then I'm going to hit you with a hot take.
Sure.
Fact, there is no actor in Hollywood right now who is more charismatic and more sought after. Well, okay, the charismatic is the hot take. There is no actor in Hollywood right now, this is factual, who is more sought after, who is a higher box office draw, a guaranteed box office success, and like a Viagra for your dying franchise. If you have a dying franchise and you need to inject an actor into the sequel in order to revitalize it, in order to get that thing at full mast again, there is no actor who tops Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson right now. He is the
that's
most
fair.
sought after Hollywood personality.
Hardworking, gets the job done.
And then the hot take is just simply,
CEO
and that's
dream.
because he is the most charismatic. There is something intoxicating about the personality of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson.
It's
like he is
infectious.
just such
He's great.
You see him on screen,
Yeah.
and he's just like, but he's a good actor too,
off-screen.
which is
Yeah,
so
off-screen.
weird.
Off screen, yeah.
Well, I mean, I've
Just
never
a nice guy.
I mean, I've seen like interviews and stuff, but those are always like, I've never seen Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson not on a screen. You know what I mean? Like, it might be a
No.
YouTube interview, but it's still
Well,
on a
even-
screen.
Even
I've never
if he's
thrown back a couple with The Rock.
Oh.
No, I thought you were like, I was going to say, like, even if he's off screen, he could still like be in character.
Yeah.
Like hold that personality of who he wants everyone to perceive him from, because
Sure.
he's from the wrestling world where kayfabe, where being in character 24/7 in public, even when you're not in the ring, is important.
Absolutely.
So he could do that.
When the camera's not on him,
maybe he's a dick at home.
yeah, I was gonna say, maybe Dwayne the Rock Johnson when he first wakes up and he's walking to the shower, maybe he's an absolute prick. I have no idea. But as far as like when the paparazzi's on him, or he's on screen, or he's in an interview, or he's whatever it is, he is always at 11. Always.
And I mean, it breaks into the bigger question of what people are like in public versus what they're like in private life. We don't know what he's like behind doors. But even just like his, like, say, Instagram personal videos that are like non-interviews, and obviously, they're catered or tailored by him, like releasing what he wants to release and deleting what he wants to delete. But I'm in agreement with both of you. The vibes that you get from him are like,
I mean, you never know, right? You never know.
For sure.
You could have watched Platoon and thought, I bet you that Charlie Sheen guy has got his life together.
Yeah. Honestly.
Well, he is winning, so
it's that tiger blood. Okay.
Let me break down why we're here today. Let me just break it down.
All right.
So when we did this vote, Twister won by a landslide.
Oh, yeah, this is the abridged version. I thought you were going to be like, let me break down why we're here today. So, we've got this podcast, right? And we deal with movies, okay? Now.
When this vote happened, Twister won by a landslide. But The Rock was in second place. And
surprisingly to me at the time.
Rightfully so.
It had some common vote, and it also had some strong Patreon charged voting. So that's one reason and pulling back the curtain, I was the one who kind of pushed us forward. Let's do this. That's one reason why we did it. The other, we've done Con Air, so we had already done 1/3 of what is classified as the Nick Cage trifecta of Con Air, Face Off, and The Rock that came out in like an 18-month period. So doing 2 out of the 3 would be kind of fun and cool. And also...
Wait, which 2 did we do? We did
Con Air, and this will be the second one.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're saying Face Off was a vote, but didn't
Face
win.
Off.
Yeah, Face Off didn't win. Yeah.
Which has who in it? Has Nick Cage.
Nick Cage and John Travolta.
Yes.
And John
in which
Travolta.
they switch places and pretend to be each other.
Right, yeah.
Well,
it's
they don't
Freaky
just
Friday,
pretend.
but with... Yeah.
Yeah. But... one of the main reasons we wanted to round back to this, and this is shout out to Daphne, is an opportunity to do a film not only with Nick Cage, but with Sean Connery, just to give Brady opportunity when he deems fit, and he may not, but when he deems fit to pull out the famous
Sean Connery, the horrible Sean Connery impersonation.
That is right.
There's also was the precedent set that when you did the Con Air podcast, Brady described The Rock to a T. And as I was listening to the podcast, I had the same thought Pete did before he said it, and I'm like, what the hell is going on? And then Pete said it, and I'm like, yes!
That's The Rock. Like,
so I need to go. So 2 things. I need to go back and listen to that because I remember you saying that, but I don't remember what I said. That
and
was
and for
like
the listener,
in the context of why I said it.
Yeah, and for the listener, like essentially Brady was like, yeah, Con Air was good in this component, but what I would change in this, and like it would be cool if there was this older mentor, and like you just went on
Sean
this tangent.
Connery that needs to be an Escape from Prison or something.
Yes,
like
and
that.
you went on this tangent, and I'm like, I like full stopped you, like I told you to stop talking, stop breathing, and I was like, you're literally describing The Rock, like word for word. So the point is, all those reasons, it felt like a natural fit to do. There's a way to get Carl back on the show, and I truly want to cover as many Nick Cage films as possible to try and convince or discover if Nick Cage is a good actor or not.
Right. Because listen, he is not for this movie. He's an Academy Award winning actor.
Right.
He has an Oscar for Best Actor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, anyways. So that was the first thing. The second thing is I will bring the Sean Connery accent back today.
Sure.
On one condition.
Okay.
And it's kind of putting you in a bit of an ultimatum.
Sure. Yeah.
A little bit of a tricky spot. There's one line, my favorite line in this movie.
Oh, I know. Well, I don't know.
And it's so good.
A couple good
It's
ones.
made. It's one of my favorite. It's not my favorite Sean Connery line.
Oh,
But it's one of my favorite.
I
And
know
in
what it
order
is.
to say it,
Yeah.
I need permission to make Movie Men history.
No, I'm gonna make you bleep it out. It'll still be all good.
Then it's not even worth it.
It
No,
totally
it's
is.
not. It's still not. It's not good. You can't
did that
bleep
in
out
our
the accent.
007 episode. You dropped one and it beeped and it still hit. Still hit.
Did I bleep it? But it's
You
so
did.
much. See, but I won't. See, but I'm not even going to do it just because I'm aware of like the extra editing that I have to do then. Like I gotta do the post production. Like legitimately, there are times where, honest to God, there are. This is how lazy I am. Well, actually, just how busy I am. There are times where I don't play my drum didum sound effect because then I know I'll have to include another
Right.
file in the editing thing, and I gotta like and sync it up with everything else, and I'm just like, whatever. So, anyways, all right. So I'm not gonna do it then, and it's the which is unfortunate because I mean it's also the only line I think that I remember. I mean there's a couple lines I remember, but
There's a couple.
I will allude to. We will talk
How
about
in the name of Zeus's butthole is that the only line you remember?
the only Sean Connery line.
Yeah.
The only Sean Connery line. There's a lot of Nick Cage lines in this movie. My God.
man.
Okay. So do you have trivia, sir? Wait, why is Carl here? Can we talk about that? Like you said, why we're doing The Rock. But you didn't explain.
Well, I did
why the
say
hell
because it's
Carl's
The Rock,
here.
it's a way to incorporate Carl into an episode. He is a fan
Right.
of
Can I-
90s action films and
My favorite.
Can I go out on the limb though and say that Carl's actually allowed in any episode that he wants to be in? And it's not just like,
I think so.
oh, we're doing The Rock, so I mean, I guess we can let him sneak in here. It's been almost 2 years, and that's
It's
disgusting.
long enough.
It's
It's
been
disgusting. Yeah. Okay. Trivia.
I am gonna have an aneurysm. It's 23 minutes and we haven't even talked about The Rock.
Yeah. Well, we're about to with trivia. Ow!
Hey, there you go.
I beat him to it.
Double whammy.
Double whammy. Okay, it'll be one question today. It was related to something Brady talked about. Before I do that, I just want to share 3 quick facts. The one that I just raised all kinds of antennas on me. Michael Bay's idea for a sequel to this film would have been a married Nicolas Cage in possession of the microfilm with evidence to things like JFK and all those different kind of American history things.
So, National Treasure.
But so essentially National Treasure, but with he wanted to bring Mason back, so National Treasure with Sean Connery, and I'm like, heck yeah.
Oh man, yeah.
And as recently as like 2017, he was batting this idea around.
Oh man,
I'd pay money to see that, I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah.
Be worth it.
The scene where the FBI director gets thrown out the balcony and like is dangling there was shot on location at the Fairmont Hotel, and literally numerous people called the hotel like front desk saying, "Hey, someone's hanging from their room. Call
How could
call
you
someone."
not see like production,
I-
crane cameras and
I just think that's hilarious. Just the
food
visuals
tables and
of
shit.
panicking
Like, what do you?
people.
My God! And there's no way the street wasn't sectioned off with like
You'd
safety.
think.
Like he's got safety harnesses that are digitally removed, and there's a friggin' high jump high school mat on the ground for sure, or some kind of netting
Not
or
a
something.
net, yeah, on a couple stories below him or something.
Yeah, a bunch of douchebags.
So a scene I kind of just glossed over and didn't think about till I read this, but the whole naked Nick Cage playing guitar scene, Apparently, Nick Cage wanted it to kind of... Michael Bay, differing opinions. Nick Cage thought it was a good way to just show, hey, our character's at home. Michael Bay was under the impression Nick Cage wanted to be naked and just
went along with
it. I don't know. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Not that I have a problem with it or anything. It just does seem quite random. But
I mean, after what happened, I think I would want to be a little freer than it not feel like I'm in a suit anymore either. He was just in a suit having acid and chemicals dripping.
Yeah.
Like, get me as free as possible.
But maybe oppositely, maybe he just has such a paranoia of exposure to things that he'd want to just be covered up all the time. There could be underlying trauma.
Maybe.
It's hard to say. This is the question. Carl will get an answer and Brady will get an answer, and we'll see if anyone gets it. Pretty notable cast. We got Sean Connery, obviously. Nicolas Cage, who Brady also mentioned, just has an Oscar win. And we've got Ed Harris. So we've got 3 pretty main guys. And
we got more than that.
Well, 3 guys that would be notable, or at least in the conversation for winning an Oscar.
Okay.
So between the 3 of these actors, how many Oscars are, like, if they piled all their Oscars in a pile in the middle of the room, how many Oscars are we talking? Are we talking 1, 2?
We're talking about like
more than 3
at that point in time or now?
Right now. I'm not going to say like on April 7th, 1996 at 4 p.m.
Well, Sean Connery's done winning awards.
Essentially comes down to the fact, do you think Sean Connery had an Oscar, yes or no? And if so, how many? Do you think Nick Cage won more than the one that Brady referenced? And do you think Ed Harris had any? Essentially, that's where you got to start, and then you got to say, hey.
So we got to give you a number for each one?
No, total. Okay. If they all throw their
5.
Oscars in the middle.
I had no idea. 5.
Sure.
I don't watch Oscars.
Yeah,
I don't follow that.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just going to guess.
I think just 5. A number, or do we have to give like a breakdown? Like
so I gave options. So 1, 2, or 3 or more.
Like, is there bonus points if I give a breakdown?
I guess it depends if it's like,
look, if I'm like so and so contributed so and so, and the other person
Nick Cage
contributed
has
so and so.
2. Harris has 2. Sean Connery's got 1.
Right. Right.
That's my 5.
Sure.
Okay.
There.
I know that. Okay, so you're saying 5.
That's my guess.
Sure.
Yeah. Just I'm shooting in the dark because I don't care about Oscars. I care about if the movie's entertaining.
Okay. So I know that Nick Cage only won 1 Oscar because I looked that up last night.
Oh, okay. And you dropped that, and I was a little disappointed you dropped that because I was hoping it would be a secret.
Yeah, to be
Carl.
like a what?
Sean Connery won 2.
Yeah.
Nick Cage won 1.
I found it shocking that Nick Cage had 1. And it was for best actor. Like, it wasn't like...
Was it for Pig?
No, but that's a really good movie. Have you
No,
seen it?
I haven't seen it, but I've recently saw an article of Nick Cage
like
saying what his favorite movies were, and that's his favorite movie.
It was incredibly more nuanced than I thought it would be. It was good.
No, he won for
Leaving
like
Las
a 90s
Vegas.
movie. Yeah, it's like a romance.
I think it's drama romance, yeah.
Yeah, like him and there's a female, there's like a love interest thing.
Sure.
What was it called?
Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounded
It's
like
like
Raising Hope for a second. But
mid 90s or something.
Yeah.
So he's only won 1. I believe that all 3 have won them. Ed Harris seems more okay. So it's shocking that Nick Cage has won 1, but not shocking that he's only won 1. Ed Harris seems like more prestigious. He seems more like he's in a lot more diverse things. Ed Harris is like, seems more like an Academy actor than Nick Cage does. I'm going to say...
Like he's got more range?
Yeah, or just like he's in movies that are less like...
Right.
requiring him to go slightly manic on his co-actors. So I'm going to say like okay, as a placeholder, I'm going to say like 3 or 4, maybe.
Sure.
Which is likely a combination of like best actor and then like best supporting, like, you know. Mm-hmm. I don't think they're all necessarily best actor.
Sure.
Sean Connery, I'm sure has won an Oscar, but I also know that like a lot of like, you're not going to win an Oscar for any. He didn't win an Oscar for any of his 007 films. I doubt. He's not going to win an Oscar for something like Hunt for Red October. I doubt, as amazing as Medicine Man is, you really liked that, right?
Yeah. I just came across that on the IMDb the other day, and I want to watch it again. It's
so good.
Yeah.
As amazing as that movie is, I don't know if it's like Oscar material.
Fair.
So I'm going to say like 1 or 2.
Sure.
So, Nick Cage, Sean Connery. I'm going to say, Carl, you said 5?
That was my shot in the dark, yes.
Okay, so it's closest without going over. I'm going to say 6.
Okay.
Price is right.
Yeah.
Both of us?
Yeah.
Both of us?
It's collectively 2. Wow. Ed Harris has none. They all have nominations, but Ed Harris has no awards. Nick Cage has 1 for Leaving Las Vegas, and Connery only has 1 in a best supporting role for The Untouchables.
Your logic sounded so sound too, Brady.
Mm-hmm. It always does, but it rarely.
And I'll put a feather in your cap here. Like, it usually leads you to, if not the right answer, something logically based. That's like,
I was on board.
Yeah.
For Ed Harris, I was thinking, what? You got like Apollo 13, probably. Maybe The Truman Show. I mean, maybe because he works with Nick Cage again in National Treasure 2.
Yes.
So, yeah, I don't know.
But before we get into the episode, the only other things I want to share is
before we get into the episode at the half-hour mark.
The actor carryover. Obviously, you mentioned the National Treasure. We got a Titanic carryover. We've got Fabrizio plays a minor role. But I literally just want to delve into the actual real Alcatraz escape from 62. And it's simply, obviously we don't know if they survived or not, but these inmates tried to escape. And what they did when they were in jail, they requested to have all their cells in a row, and they had the request approved. So they had all their cells in a row, and they were strategically backing onto this specific vent that went through the jail. They drilled holes and kind of prepared for their escape on the certain night and covered the holes with musical instruments in their jail cells. The night they left, to give them more time to get away, they had constructed plaster dummy heads in their beds made of soap, concrete, and real human hair. And then they like put blankets up to them.
It's a really Shawshank Redemption here.
Literally. So like the next morning, the guards were like, hey, Steve, wake up, and like poked one of them, and the head literally rolled out of bed and broke, and they're like,
sound the alarm.
And they made a 14-foot raft made out of 50 prison-issued raincoats.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mythbusters did a whole thing on this.
A lot of people, like, studies have been done for every facet of this. As far as if they made it or not, I'm actually convinced it was possible. It is highly unlikely.
Yeah, like they weren't caught. They weren't bottom line. So we don't know if they made it.
We don't, but it's incredible. Like, even in June when this took place, like, the water was like 50 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's like,
and it's a rough, like there's
undertow and
there's not rapids, but it can be rocky. Like it's
current.
Not a yeah.
And so like you've got the whole Titanic factor of, if you sit in the water too long, you're toast. If you lose strength after paddling for a couple hours, you get pulled out to sea and you're toast.
Yeah, because that was Titanic's issue. Just in the water too long.
I mean, the people at the end, and yeah, like it's crazy just because the island is like a mile offshore, but it's still incredible, and that's why it's the Rock that's why it was crazy as far as what it was, and that's why we're here today to talk about The Rock.
Cool beans.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was also, you were talking about shot on location at the Fairmont. It's also shot on location at Alcatraz.
Sean Connery requested to have a little shack made on it so he wouldn't have to go back and forth. And they granted
he's
it.
like, I don't want to go back to the mainland every day, so like just build me a little hut to live in. And
just
the
like
producers
Medicine
were
Man.
Like, I mean,
here's the one
James
from Medicine
Bond.
Man. Enjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's James Bond in this film too.
Basically, he's actually cooler. He's cooler than anything James Bond does.
He's less of a womanizing piece of dirt.
This is the sequel to the James Bond Sean Connery movies.
And he has a daughter, so I mean, he is James Bond.
Yeah, and maybe it ends like we don't see him get in a boat and have sex with a woman at the end of the film. But that doesn't mean...
It doesn't mean it didn't happen.
Doesn't mean it... Yeah, we don't see what he does. I mean, he's on an island. Like, surely a boat is a possibility.
Oh, man. Oh, boy.
Okay, so we've started doing... Carl, I don't know if you know this. We've started doing first impressions.
He's doing a little dance. He knows.
Yeah, okay. So I'm going to start. Okay, listen. This movie had a lot working against it going in. One, and Carl knows this and Pete knows this, I'm not a big like 80s, 90s, even 2000s action film guy, right? Like I like, you could say that like Marvel movies are action movies. Oh, kind of. But like, if we're talking about like stuff like Crank or this or name some other like gratuitous action films.
John Wick?
John Wick, yeah.
John Wick
would be like the big icon right now.
I don't mind modern. See, but that's modern.
Matrix.
And I really liked Bob Odenkirk in Nobody. I really like that movie. So, but just like those like explosions for the sake of explosions, car chases for the sake of car chases, like
Michael Bay.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But
like,
we got to talk about that at some point.
I don't know. Let me pull up real quick here. 90s action movies.
While you're doing that, Pete and I, when we sat down to watch it,
the first movie that comes up for 90s action movies is Batman Forever. I don't know that's
I would put superhero movies in the action movie.
Okay,
genre,
so with the exception of that,
they have a lot of similar kind of plot device.
Okay,
check
so
marks
things like
the movie.
Things like Speed and Total Recall.
Speed.
And
Total Recall?
Speed,
yeah.
And I mean, really, typically stuff like Con Air or G.I. Jane or Air Force One or like they're just not my, even Independence Day. Like I watch it and it's like, okay, like, or Armageddon. I just like, it's not my, Judge Dredd. Like, okay, right? Like, I get it, but it's like, it's its own genre and I just don't really care. So that was working against it. Also, I've been in kind of a rut and I've just been like, so I went into this and I'm like, it was more like I have to watch this, which is why I watched it like last night instead of like a week ago when I knew that this is what we were going to do. So I was like, okay. And I started it at like midnight or something. Like I was like, all right,
Oh, man.
let's do this. And I put it on. So this film had a lot working against it going into it. I really like this movie. And not only do I really like it, but yeah, I knew about the potential idea of a sequel because I looked up. I was like, oh man, like, did they ever think about it? Because like, not only a sequel, But then I was also like, and I understand you can't do it because who would you cast other than Sean Connery? And we're talking about like a 30, 40-year discrepancy.
Yeah.
But a prequel. Seeing John Mason actually steal the microfilm and get caught and escape from Alcatraz. Yeah. Oh my God. And anything like that, like as soon as we get into like the FBI secrets and like who actually killed JFK,
right,
and not just like the truth about Roswell. He says the alien landing at Roswell.
Yeah,
interesting.
So there's an MIB tie.
He confirms it was an alien landing, and so I'm just like, as soon as we started talking about stuff like that, I'm like, oh, like my national treasure love starts vibrating. The only other thing I'll say for my first impression is I do not believe that Carl watched this film with... Did you rewatch it for this, Carl?
I did. Not only did I watch it once, I watched it twice, and I rented it when I didn't have to.
Yeah, it's on Disney Plus.
And I regret nothing.
Okay. And neither time did you watch it with your children, correct?
No. Are you crazy?
And the reason... And wait. And the reason why I believe, fundamentally, the reason why I believe that Carl would not, at the end of the day, violence, language, naked Nick Cage aside. The reason I believe that Carl would not watch this movie with his children is ultimately it is inappropriate to have an erection in front of your children, and every 5 minutes in this film I was like, oh yeah, Carl would have to change his underwear again. It is just such gratuitous action and ridiculous camera angles and like stupid stuff for the sake of like it's so on the nose of like a 90s action film.
Yeah, or just like you hear the twang of the electric guitar during an action sequence.
It gets me so
I'm like throwing up in my mouth and Carl's like
and to be as vulgar as Pete will let me be without breaking the censorship here. I'm like, yeah, Carl's hard through this whole film. Like, this is his bread and butter, man. Like, this ticks every box. This is grandma's cookie recipe for Carl.
Have you been reading my diary?
Not recently, no. Those are my initial impressions.
Carl, what are your initial impressions?
I think Brady gave my initial impressions for this is my bread and butter. 90s, 80s action. I love it. It's turn your brain off. You don't have to think too much about it.
Right.
It's just a fun film
Carl's
to sit and
card.
enjoy. I like the intellectual stuff, but this is this is just more fun. You don't have to think too hard about the reasons. There is this is a good, like a really good action film because there is meat on the bone if you want to chew it, but you don't have to.
Right. You
so
can empathize
Ed
with
Harris's
Ed
character's
Harris's motive.
reasons for doing that's real world stuff that happens now. John Stewart has been fighting since he retired from his late night show for veterans, and the American government turns their back on them every day. Same in Canada. This is a real world thing.
Right.
So it's not hard to imagine this scenario happening. And it's like there's some meat on the bones if you want to chew it. But yeah, you don't have to. You can just turn off and enjoy watching Nick Cage be a nerdy scientist doing something he's not good at, following around a Sean Connery who's a badass SAS operative and taking names and kicking butt and
Oh, you can say ass.
Fun.
You can say ass. Yeah.
Oh, I'm allowed to say. Oh yeah. All right.
You can say ass. I think we allow shit.
So there's a few swear words there aren't, but there are.
Yeah, okay. we don't say the F word.
Oh,
apparently. Not even for the sake of Sean Connery do we say the F word.
Yeah, like my main go-to is like Stallone and Arnold, but this is a great action film. I was I didn't realize it was a Michael Bay film until earlier when I watched it with Pete.
Yeah.
So I was a little blown away. I was like, what?
Because you were ripping on him.
I was ripping on him before we started the film.
And then across the screen, it's like a Michael Bay film.
And I'm like, what? Pause it. And we Googled it, and it's like, he's done a lot of stuff I like.
Right.
Yeah. Well,
so it's just the recent like Transformers garbage.
There is an explosion on the island at the end. It's just a streetcar for heaven's sake.
Like, I guess it's the more recent stuff he's done that's less appealing to me. I guess that's kind of made him a weaker director in my mind. But like,
you know what?
Bad Boys and this and there's like
I haven't
looking
watched,
at his IMDb is like, wow, he was a great action film director. What happened?
I haven't watched Ambulance yet, but I've heard not amazing things. The first
Pete's gagging.
Yeah, that doesn't look good.
The first Transformers is good. After that, it goes downhill. The first Transformers was just exciting. Then but like all the other stuff like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, it was garbage.
Like compared to give me the '80s one any day of the week.
So yeah, I in the last year or two I've watched the first one again, and it's still a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I didn't realize he did Pearl Harbor. That was eye-opening to me.
Yeah.
That one. Like where does the directing chops go? When did he let himself go?
Yeah. Well, and he did Armageddon.
Yeah.
And
he's got a nice list of movies in the past that are great.
And he did
stuff
two films that are very near and dear to mine and Carl's heart, actually.
Bad Boys.
Bad Boys. Carl and I sat down to watch Bad Boys, like, I don't know, maybe like 8 years ago or something, 10 years ago. And we're sitting there and we're watching, and it's Will Smith slap and Martin Lawrence. And we're sitting there watching it, and all of a sudden, it just dawns on us at the same time. So we're like, oh my God, this is us. Like, that's you.
Could be cops.
That's you. Martin Lawrence is you, and Will Smith is me. Oh my God. Like, and the second we realized that, all through the rest of the film and all through the sequel, it never stopped being true. It was like, these are our personalities. Mike Lowry and whatever the hell the other guy's name is. Like, it was just, anyways, that's, neither here nor there, but it's a fun movie story.
Yeah, that is cool.
So yeah, my impressions is a great film. I have watched it several times in my childhood and youth, and it's I like I said, I rented it because I didn't realize it was on a streaming service, and when I found out it was on a streaming service and I watched it with Pete, I was like, I don't care. It was worth the $5.
Well, I mean,
I'd do it again tomorrow.
So that's the thing about Canadian Disney Plus. Right, because we have, like, a lot of these films in the States are on Hulu, but we don't have Hulu here, and so we have Star as a part of our Disney Plus. And I don't think no one would critique you for going, oh, The Rock, I bet that's on Disney Plus. Like, you don't even, but I did. I Googled it, and that's a great thing. You can Google like any movie now, and it will tell you like, rent it on YouTube for $5 or watch it on XYZ. Subscribe now to watch, and you're like, oh shit, I have that.
I didn't do that.
No, dummy.
I just went straight to renting because I thought Disney won't have it. Netflix doesn't have it.
When you watch as many movies as Pete and I have to watch, you get used to figuring out what is on what streaming service.
It's true. It's
what's accessible.
Listen, I want to eat this week, so.
What about you, Pete?
So, my initial impressions. I grew up with this movie. I never owned it. I never saw it full cover to cover. But it was one of those movies that, like, on a Sunday afternoon on TBS would be on. And, like, so there's I had the nostalgic factor going into it. It's more significant to me than many... National Treasure's significant to me. It's more significant than a lot of Nicolas Cage films to me.
Now I'm just getting sentimental about TBS.
Right? Right?
Oh, God.
And the thing with that is when I watched it with Carl the other day, I was like, holy man, there's a lot of F-bombs that were obviously taken out because it was on TBS. Like every other scene, there was an F-bomb. I'm like, whoa,
Sure.
dog. Woo.
Sure.
Spicy.
But yeah, so more nostalgic than Con Air, obviously, because I didn't grow up with Con Air. This is shocking, but I actually think that this film was inferior in some ways to Con Air. And I like this film more just because of the nostalgic factor. And I just can't believe I'm saying this, but Con Air did some things that were better. I thought the hero in Con Air was more heroic and virtuous. For some reason, it's probably just a me thing, but for some reason in Con Air, I was more drawn in by the moral conflict. Like with, should they shoot this plane down so they don't kill people on the Vegas Strip? Oh, but there's an innocent man here. You know, what's right, what's wrong? With this, like, it was like, oh, yeah, there's 84 people locked up in cells. But other than the occasional
81.
pan shot, you know, I don't really care because I have no reason
We don't
to
see
be
them a lot.
invested. You don't see them a lot. You don't. And Ed Harris is a boss. It's like, hey, all the kids, get out of here. We'll just lock up the adults. So it's like, hey, whatever
Ranger
happens.
Bob didn't pull you in emotionally?
Ranger Bob. Apparently Ed Harris could like not stop laughing at Ranger Bob in real life.
I kept forgetting that there were hostages, and
Yes,
and
right?
at the end of the day, like, because the hostages,
Yes.
the death of the hostages aren't the threat,
No.
right? The threat is the gassing of San Francisco. The hostages are only there to make nuking, or not nuking, but like, you know, thermiting
Yeah.
Alcatraz
They're
less of a
contingency
clear
against
option.
them. Yeah,
Yeah, it's
retaliate.
less of a clear option. Yeah.
Yeah. And the last thing for my initial impression, Con Air had one scene in particular that was so gripping that this film never came close to touching. The whole Steve Buscemi when he escapes and is in that trailer park and like makes everyone like sweat and panic about what's going to happen.
Yeah, but
Luckily-
he turned out to be a good guy.
I
He
know,
didn't do anything wrong.
I completely agree with you. But just how gripping that scene was and how they toyed with you, they were
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
"What
yeah,
is
yeah.
going to happen?" This film, I was never on the edge of my seat like that. So, still love it. But my list of things to talk about today are all problems. Ooh. One problem, and I will say when we get to it, I was fair. I was wrong about it, so it's no longer a problem. It's just something that's neutral. So I was fair to it, and I gave it its due diligence.
I do have a problem.
I bet
it's not
you
a
do.
big one,
You've got
but-
a few problems, Carl.
Do I?
No,
personally,
you don't. You're
personally,
perfect. You're perfect.
But
Don't
Well-
let anyone.
movie, I have one. but
Don't
it's
let
not-
anyone tell you differently.
It's not a game
We-
changer for me.
We are okay. So we're done first impressions. We're just about an hour in. Let's talk
53
about this movie.
minutes in.
We're rocking
So-
this. Let's
Yeah.
keep going.
It.
Buckle in,
I
this is
think
a
I
long
would
ride.
disagree with you, Pete. I think. Listen,
Okay.
I did enjoy Con Air. And a lot of that was like the mystery of what's like. I gave it a very positive review, and a lot of that was like
Sure.
the mystery of what's going to happen, and the tension, and John Malkovich as whoever
I
he
forgot
like.
him. Yeah.
What a villain! Like he just John Malkovich in anything. Like you know, hats
And
off.
white bread John Cusack.
Like this, okay. Like Ed Harris is incredible, but had that been John Malkovich, like it would like
Right.
forget about it. But so,
Yeah.
But-
I would agree with Pete's point on like the tension scene. Like the closest
Oh,
The
yeah.
Rock has is the shower room,
Right.
and not because
Yeah.
they're in a shower room. It's because there's guns pointed in there. You know, but like
Yeah.
that's the most tension that this movie
Right.
really has.
Yep.
I think. That's
yeah, with the
tensest
little
moment.
homemade
motion
tumbler
sensor.
device or whatever it is. Yeah. But so but at the end of the day, like here's the thing. Everyone's character in this movie in The Rock. Like Stanley Goodspell or whatever the hell his name is. Nick Cage.
Good
at
speed.
Good spell, good speed.
There it is, folks. Yes, there it is.
Give us some more, Brady.
At times, okay, wait. So the best line in this movie, and I will bleep it out because it's worth it.
It is. Thank you. God bless you.
The best line in this movie is when Sean Connery is face to face with Ed Harris. I rewound and I listened to it like 3 times. The best line in this movie is they're face to face, and Ed Harris is basically just like evil villain monologuing at him. Right? It's like perfect, totally. Like Bond film garbage. And Sean Connery starts talking, and he talks about how, like, you know, his plan doesn't make any sense. Actually, hang on. I'm going to see if I can pull it up. Sean Connery. Slapping women? No. Sean Connery. He's such, you know, okay, so this film drove home for me. He's an incredible actor. Right. He is an incredible actor.
He is. Yep.
But what a piece of slime.
Listen, yeah, it's just
The Rock.
I don't know many. What was it? What is it? He's an Englishman who played a Scotsman, or a Scotsman who in the Highlander.
Think Scotsman who played in English. Yeah.
It's funny.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, he's like, saw the highlights on television. He says, I don't quite see how you cherish the memory of the dead by killing another million. And this is not combat. It's an act of lunacy, General. Sir, personally, I think you're a idiot. It's so good. Oh my God, it's so good.
Yeah. Is that
Sean
the quote?
Connery? Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Because he's talking
that's
about
the one you wanted to bring up.
That's the one. Well, just that last, like literally the sentence. Personally, I think
it was another one.
Yes.
Yeah. What one did you think it was?
Literally, just when he's like, personally, I think you're a idiot. Oh my God, that's Sean Connery at his finest.
So, that was an incredible
What else could
scene.
I have needed to censor out? What are you talking about?
I thought you were going to say, I can't do it, but...
No, I'll censor it out. What do you... Come on.
No, I can't do it in his like dialect. I'm just going to do it.
Okay, well, what line is it? And then I'll do it.
Losers always complain about their best. Winners go home and F the prom queen. I thought that's what she meant.
She was the prom queen.
I thought that's what she meant.
And then he's like, really? Like, he was like, yeah, your best. Losers always whine about their best. Winners go home and prom queen. Yeah, and he's like, Carla was the prom queen. Really?
Just breaking that down. Like, what a movie. Like, what is even going on? Oh boy, okay.
If we're going favorite quotes from the movie and scenes, yeah. I love the scene where Goodspeed is like, they just the shower scene just happens. Mm-hmm. Sean Connery's walking away.
Yep.
He's like, he's got a gun. What do you got, a pea shooter? No.
Oh God! Now I
chases after him, like confronts him. And Sean Connery takes his gun. He's got both the guns now. he's such a loser. He's supposed to be in this tactical situation. He's a complete nerd.
Yeah, he's like, did you get it? Oh, he's like, yeah, because he's like, did you get? Are you in control of the situation yet? And he's like, not yet, sir. The other line about it, from Sean Connery in this one is when he's like, Nick Cage is like, you enjoying this? And Sean Connery's like, well, it's certainly more enjoyable than my average day. Reading philosophy, avoiding gang rape in the washrooms. Though it's less of a problem these days. Maybe I'm losing my sex appeal.
When I watched it with my wife, she turned to me, she goes, nope.
Did she walk away?
No, she looked at me and she goes, nope.
So good. It's such a good line. He was such a good actor.
He was a good fit for this.
Oh yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, no more F-bombs, because I got like,
Yeah, Brady's got enough stuff to do.
Yeah.
I got a life.
He just graduated. He's got all kinds of free time.
Yeah. Got to go back working for the man. Yeah, it surprised me. I think more and more, like I enjoyed Con Air more than I thought I was going to. I enjoyed The Rock a lot more than I thought I was going to. And I think ultimately what it's telling me is that there's a lot of 90s or even 2000s action films, maybe 80s action films that I look at that I haven't seen, and I look at and I think, it's just gratuitous action. Like it's got nothing to offer me, and I'm not interested. Because there have been some, like, I'll be honest, like the first, and it's the only one that I've seen, and Carl's going to lose his mind at this. There are few redeeming qualities to Predator for me. I'm like, it's fun in moments. There's like, get to the chopper and like stuff like that. And you're like, okay, great.
I don't got time to bleed.
But like, but it's also just like, there's really no plot or character development, or like, it's just stupid action.
It's a bunch of army dudes dying in the jungle. What character development do you need?
Arnold is a different man when he leaves that jungle emotionally, and you know it.
Whereas as The Rock, as confusing at times as Nick Cage's character is, right? Because Nick Cage's character goes from being like the guy, he's like working in this lab, and he's a little dweeby, but he's also like pretty competent in his job.
Really good at his job.
He's really good at his job. And now he's a nudist and a musician.
Beatlemaniac.
And we're seeing a little bit of that like cliche Nick Cage, where she's like, "Oh, how was your day?" And he's like, "Well, my day was this almost happened, and so now," like, and you're like, "Okay,
No
Nick, relax." And then such a great line where she's like, "Did you really mean all that stuff you said about having kids?" And he's like, "Well, I meant it at the time." And she's like, "At the time, that was Stanley. That was 7.5 seconds ago." Well, a lot has happened since then. I watched it alone, and I was physically laughing, which is the true test. It's the true test of any film. If you laugh alone, I was like, "This is really funny." But and then all of a sudden he's like interrogating John Mason, and he's horrible. He's like He's back to being a total loser. And then 20 minutes later, he's channeling his Gone in 60 Seconds friggin' jumping cars off of shit. And like, he becomes, he's like, "It's not my bike." Like, just becomes this like a total badass. And I'm like, who is your character? Like, I don't understand. But from an action film standpoint, like Carl said, I sympathized. I resonated with the message of Ed Harris. I was like, I don't agree with how you're going about this, but I don't disagree with your inspiration.
Yeah, and if you pay attention right at the beginning of the film, he tried to do it through legitimate means. Like he appeared before committees and stuff and tried to do it the right way, and they kept turning their back on him. So like, you really do feel for him.
Yeah, and because he's like, "Well, but I mean, you do and you don't." Like, I feel for his message, but then at times, he's like, he puts his Medal of Honor or whatever the hell it is on
the grave,
on his dead wife's grave, and he's like, "Honey, please don't think less of me. I'm about to potentially kill millions." But it's also interesting that, like, I find it so interesting that he was never going to kill millions.
Yeah, it was
like he said, they called our bluff. Mm-hmm. Like, this was a mission. The foundation of this mission was the threat of force.
Yeah,
we bluffed and they called it. Mm-hmm. I'm not like, what do you think? I'm nuts? I'm not about to kill hundreds of thousands of people. So He's not a bad guy. He was yelling for ceasefire during the shower room scene.
Yeah,
right? Like he didn't want anybody to die. When they take
Mason
the gas,
knew he wasn't a crazy guy.
Yeah, when they take the gas, they use non-lethal force, and I thought that I was like, they're shooting like riot control beanbags and stuff. Like that's like what's going on here. At first, I thought it was like, honestly, when that scene started, because when the movie starts, you have no idea like what this movie's about and like what's going on. But when that scene started, I was like, oh, maybe this is like the prison facility or something. And they're like showing up to like, they're doing an inspection. And the way that they're doing the inspection is by like using non-lethal force to like raid and infiltrate the place. And they're like failing this inspection. And then I was like, oh no, that's not what's happening. they're stealing gas. But that also would have been cool. But no, I think this, like I was saying, I think this movie beats out Con Air because everyone in this film, like, you know, this film is a film about how many different wigs Sean Connery can wear and still look badass.
That one was pretty awful, the long-haired grunge.
I didn't mind. I was like, okay.
Oh, honey.
I'm like, all right.
What did they do to you?
Whereas Con Air is a film about a mullet
and
a bad accent and just like the most unlikely. Like I buy just about everything that happens in The Rock. There, you know, like it's all ridiculous action, but there's not many moments where I'm like, oh, okay, this is stupid now.
Wait till we get to my problems list, but continue.
Okay. But there's a lot of moments in Con Air where I'm like, okay, this is just plain like you're asking me to suspend so much disbelief because XYZ, because because you just need to progress your film. Like there's no way you're surviving this explosion. There's no way you're surviving that. There's no way. Okay, now the car is getting pulled through the air and and it's just like there's a lot of ridiculous. And in The Rock, there feels like there's less ridiculous. And, the majority of Con Air is set on this plane, right? And then at this, like, air base.
Yeah.
And you're like, okay, these are, like, settings for the film. In The Rock, I would argue to an extent that Alcatraz is a character of itself.
It's like Hogwarts.
Yeah. Well, and in terms of like believability, like if you're a general with years of combat experience, that's a pretty easy place to defend. Which brings me to my only issue with the film is that when he makes the phone call, he tells them where they are.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I know. He's like,
yeah.
Calling from Alcatraz, out. And I'm like, I wouldn't have even said the area that you were planning on bombing.
Right.
He says, like, I'm bombing San Francisco. And I'm like, okay, you're already pinpointing yourself. Just say that you're targeting...
the West Coast.
Not even. You're targeting a city with X many... Like, these are the lives you're prepared to kill.
For the time deadline he gives them, I think saying where you're going to hit is fine. Like, because they still have to waste time finding where you are. If that takes them 10 hours, well, they've wasted. Now they have 10 less hours to figure out.
But Alcatraz, I mean, it's a cool line. Alcatraz, from Alcatraz out. Like, and that's a cool line. But
and you
it's
said
like,
that,
what
Carl,
are you doing?
Yeah, exactly. What are you doing? Like, I wanted to come up with a reason why you were wrong. And I can't think of any strategic reason why it made sense for him to do that.
His plan is so sound.
Yeah.
Why give up your location?
Yeah. And I couldn't come up with anything that would make sense.
So that's my only gripe.
Sure. And that was one of mine. Yeah.
Okay, thanks for listening.
Well, listen, I'll keep going down my grocery list, and it could be some.
Yeah, do it.
Points.
I mean, that's all my stuff in a nutshell. It's it's a film that is from a genre that I typically associate with films that I don't care about. But I found myself really sucked into this. I did think it was long.
I thought there was an action sequence at the end that they could have done without. And I think it was like the final one between where Nick Cage had to get his flare out, where I thought, okay, we've accomplished that, Sean Connery came back to help and they've reunited, and then it just kind of dragged on a bit. So I felt too that it's a little bit long.
Because it's 2 hours and 16 minutes, which for a 90s action film, even for like a now action film, feels long.
Unless it's a superhero action film.
Unless it's a or like a fast and furious
traditionally
film,
in that era, the 90s and definitely the 80s,
you're looking at like 90 minutes. Yeah,
90 minutes.
So I was like, okay, this feels long, but also I was never like, I was always like, oh wow, I'm surprised there's still this much left, because I feel like we've done so much, and like aren't we done? But I was also never like, oh, I'm over it now. Like, okay, hurry up and finish. I was always like, okay, this is still good. So I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought I was going to. I think it's fun. I will definitely watch it again. Sean Connery, something about the duo, the chemistry between Sean Connery and Nick Cage while they're on the island, or I mean, just in general.
In general,
yeah, even when they're not.
Yeah,
that's the chemistry between the two of them is
when he interrupts with the daughter's conversation.
Yeah, it's infectious.
The interrogation,
which I mean, this wasn't a problem, but I'll bring it up. Like,
I know what you're about to say.
Is the daughter clinically blind? Like, she falls
No,
for that?
I don't know what you're going to say.
Like Nick Cage pulls this little thing where he does Sean Connery a favor and says, hey, your dad's working with us. And she goes, oh, okay, I guess I'll love you now. But, like, is she blind? Like, hey, there's, like, 27 cops with guns on Sean Connery. And, like, the sirens are, like, flashing. And then, like, does she just walk away when, like, the FBI agents walk up to him and be like, what the hell are you doing? So I was just like, is she deaf and is she blind? And, like, how did she not pick up on any of this? But sure. So nice job. Nice job.
I think
Nick
there's
Cage.
a little bit there. I'd give you a little bit.
Sure.
I think she knows he's dangerous, and that they're gonna take precautions. But
yeah.
So, question: does he thanks him in that moment, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
When he's like, "Thank you," you could have handled that much differently.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. So then I take issue with, and it's a small little whatever. I was like, oh, I'm over it. But at the end of the film, he's like, it's been a very long time since I've thanked anyone for anything. But thank you. And I'm like, didn't you just like 12 hours ago?
That's so true.
You're like 12 hours ago when we saved your ass with your daughter?
That's so true.
And you were
I wonder if he did though. If you rewatch
maybe
it,
not.
maybe he didn't.
Maybe he said,
he
like,
just said you could have handled that differently.
Yeah.
Oh,
maybe.
But
I mean, which
Same
is like a
difference.
thank you in and of itself.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
So not,
he didn't say the words, it's been a very long time since I've said the word rigatoni. But I've eaten a lot of it. I've had a lot of pasta. And it's like, okay. Like, it's the same shit, man. Like, what are you doing?
Oh, man. Whew, okay. So...
I'm sure he thanked somebody for ammunition or guns after he killed them on the island. We just didn't see it.
It's hard to say. Okay, I'll run through a couple things here quick that were on my problems list, and then we'll let Carl have the floor. Brady, you've been on this show talking about how you've had troubles.
This is not my first time on the show.
Yeah, Brady.
Thanks for having me back, though.
Brady, you've been on this show, and you've talked about your problems, and you've said, I would just love to get a group together and, play baseball on a Sunday afternoon. And we all...
These are my problems?
We play in the sunshine. But the problem is I've never made it happen, and it just can never coordinate, and it just never works out, and so on and so forth. Just the whole thing I've watched from a logistical perspective is having 17 or 14 or however many of these rogue agents went commando here. Having that many individuals come together for a collective goal is a big leap for me. And I know there are groups in the world.
Offering them $1 million each.
Yes, but here's the thing.
Something.
Here's the thing. Yes, $1 million is a big deal. But when you have a group like this, even if they're enticed by money, especially if they're enticed by money, when stuff hits the fan or something goes wrong or anyone has a differing opinion, like people have strong opinions, they're going to drop this crap about pulling, like having rank and saying, yes, sir, and right away, sir. Like, it is, I just thought that was a little bit far-fetched, just their whole maintaining of their ranks and someone being like, you know what, F this, I'm just here for the money, I don't want to do what you're saying, or you're not my superior, I disagree with you. And then also just the resources that they had. I thought that was a bit far-fetched, but not impossible, I suppose. It was a little weird that Sean Connery had to, when the team first got there, had to coordinate how to go through the flame in the boiler when Alcatraz has been closed for like 30 years at this point. Like, I just didn't really understand.
It seems weird that it's still
the light and heat's on,
running. But why? But I do want to say though, like how impressive. Like as I was watching this scene, right, and he's like, "Well, I memorized the timing." I sure as shit hope they haven't changed it, right? Or like whatever it is. I'm like figuring out the math that he has to do in reverse.
Yes, that's what goes through my mind.
Yeah,
because he's never gone in. He's never gone this way.
He's got
the timing
he's got it memorized going one way. Now he's got to
and I'm
reverse it going the other.
Good for him. Like, I'm like, oh wow,
I've
like
had
this
that
is
thought.
something that's like grazed over, but that's a feat. That is a feat.
It just goes to show off how amazing John Mason is.
It is. The lore is amazing. Michael Bay admitted it was a flaw, but I think you just got to overlook it and appreciate for its coolness.
I think it just adds to the character.
You know what?
That's my opinion.
That's fair.
I'm a little biased. I
you know what?
Vic.
The last thing I thought was I had a problem with. I'm more okay with it, and I'll just overlook everything else. The whole atropine thing. I mean, okay, so that bothered me, but I have to stand corrected. There were some issues. There's some things with it that I backed off and said, "Oh, maybe it's based on some reality." I mean, because you're okay. So, sorry to lay some context. You work in the medical healthcare field. Yeah. So I thought it was far-fetched and farcical that it was used in this context. Its main use is to be if someone has a low heart rate or bradycardia, you give it to them, and the idea is it returns their heart rate to a normal rate.
That's what I've always used it for, yeah.
And it also does some other, like, there's also, like, every drug on the planet, there's other things that they can be used for, like, if it's,
right, you're hanging around, it's New Year's Eve, a couple of you are like, well, I've never tried it before, yeah.
Need a little kick.
But apparently, it actually is used, or at least carried, by soldiers if they anticipate being exposed to chemical weapons.
Ooh, cool.
So what is the idea that you're just going to, because it's like almost like an adrenaline, right?
It's no. So how it works, and this is the reason they use it. I don't know if it would work in the drugs that they're or the poison that's in the film. That's another issue. But essentially, like if you look like microscopically at like your nerve endings, instead of like the poison latching onto the nerve ending, atropine latches on and prevents the poison from latching on.
It's like a force field.
Not even, well, I guess it's like in basketball when you're boxing out and you're keeping the poison from getting where it needs
like
to
a
go.
Force field.
I guess, but it's not like it's not like creating a wall that it can't get
Pete,
through.
Just say yes. It's easier.
It's like playing musical chairs, but atropine takes all the chairs.
Like force field.
Good Lord, man.
Yeah, like there. Just say yes.
Yes,
say yes.
That's interesting. Because when we watched it, I asked you about it, and you said, yeah, you wouldn't do that, and you wouldn't stab yourself in the heart.
To
which our response was, yeah, but this is a film, and it's a magical drug, and that's how it works.
So I resonated so much with that guy, though, at the beginning, when he's like,
oh, yeah.
Look at the size of this needle. You want me to stab this into my heart? Are you nuts? I'm like...
Well, then that's a good setup scene because Nick Cage is kind of afraid of needles or something. Like, at least for stabbing himself in the heart.
I would really struggle to do this. Are you kidding me?
Yeah. So I backed off. I said, okay, it is used in some contexts in chemical weapons. Fair enough. I mean, the fault of by the time your skin is literally peeling off or your muscles are spazzing so hard you break your back, or your
You do
nervous
whatever it
system isn't
takes.
working, or you put a needle in your heart. I mean, okay, those things, I'm not sure the atripine's really going to bring you back. Especially if, like, Nicolas Cage, where he, like,
you don't
pulls
know,
off
man.
he pulls off the flares and, like, there's a needle, like, dangling out of his heart. Like, just... But so that was a problem. I'll back off and say, hey, it's based on something that's kind of true.
So you did some research.
I'll look past and say, hey, it's an action film. Let's just have fun. So
Yeah.
not a problem.
It's magic.
It's interesting.
It's a force field.
Nicolas Cage is magic.
He is. In this film.
Those are my
Yeah,
problems.
baby.
That's it.
That was it.
That's a smaller list than I thought it was.
Well,
gonna
we
be. You made
covered
it
some
sound
of them.
big.
Yeah.
We covered some.
I mean, none of those are like, and therefore it's a bad film.
Oh, like I said, the nostalgia is there. So I'm not piling on it. I'm just saying I've noticed some faults when I
Yeah,
watched
I
this
mean,
stuff.
my nostalgia is 22 hours old,
If that.
and I think it's a great friggin' movie.
Sure.
Yeah, hang on, the clock on my computer is way up. No, it's not. Is it 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
It is.
10 after.
Yeah.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how that happened, but okay, cool.
Episode ever.
Do you know what's great about this? It's not the longest episode ever. Our longest
No.
episode ever is with Emily, I believe.
Yeah.
And how long is it, Pete?
I forget because we recorded 2 in a row with her, so like collectively it was
Oh,
hours.
it's the top TV show one, right?
Oh, that might have. Did it bump it? Because I thought it was Titanic, but maybe the top
Okay,
TV show.
I'll
bumped it.
I'll look that up in the meantime. But what's
Sure.
really funny to me right now is just that I know Pete, and I know that Pete is like looking at the clock, going, "Man,
I got a better view of the clock.
gotta like drink my tea and eat my biscuits and go to bed. Like, what is
Tea before bed?
what is this filth?"
Carl, what last thoughts do you have about Le Rock?
Man,
See,
I
see,
love
he's
it.
rushing you. He's telling you to
I'm
wrap it
not.
up.
I like if I could add, like, my viewing of this one was a little more analytical both times
Sure.
because I'm preparing for a podcast.
Yeah.
I didn't take notes, but I made mental notes.
Yeah.
And like a couple of things I that stood out to me were they did a lot of I forget the technical term for it, like setup scenes that come into play later, right? So like just little things like Nicolas Cage's character being able to hit the bullseye with a toy gun. But then for the rest of the movie, he's kind of uncomfortable with the gun. Like,
Interesting.
most of the firefights, he's shooting blind.
Yeah.
He's not even aiming. But then there is the one scene where he's like, he nails the guy perfect, right? It's like, if they didn't have that setup shot
Right.
at the beginning, then you're like, he is at kind of establishing shot. That's it. It establishes that he is FBI. If he
Yeah.
needs to shoot somebody, he's accurate.
He's
Right?
capable.
He's capable. He's not comfortable, but he's capable when he needs to be.
Okay,
Right?
I have a report
A report or a
on
tour?
on our longest episode.
Oh, a report. Okay.
A report. So our longest episode is episode 150. It's our top 5 TV shows that we recorded with Emily Mader.
Okay.
It is 2 hours and 46 minutes long.
Really?
Wow.
And it's, I would say it's in like the top 50% of our listened to episodes.
I haven't listened to it.
So, I mean, it just proves that really it's a good one,
I'll have to
man.
go
We
back.
talk
It's
about
Pretty good. Yeah.
We talk about shows you would appreciate. You and I.
Dawson's
so
Creek.
here's a fun. I introduced Carl. I mean, maybe he'd seen like bits here and there, but really, Carl's viewing of the show Friends is because of me.
True fact.
Interesting.
And
seen it
actually,
before.
one step further, Carl's viewing of the show Supernatural is because of me.
Oh, that's a good show.
I've gotten Carl
Jason
onto
Ackles should be
2
in
shows.
more stuff.
You know? Wow.
Is that how you say
He
his
wants
name?
to play
Ackles?
Jason
Ackles?
Ackles
He wants to
wants
be Batman.
he wants to play Batman in the Gotham Knights show,
Yeah. He's done
Which-
voiceover work for Batman.
which I auditioned for, by the way.
Did you?
Yeah,
Did
it's
you get
it's shooting in Toronto. No, I wanted to be a
Be a
high
better
school
Robin.
student. I was auditioning for a high school, like just an extra, like a high school student or something.
You'd make a better Robin anyway. You got the height for it.
Oh, I didn't audition for Batman. I don't have the physique for any superhero. I don't think any of us do.
The Blob? I'm not big enough for the Blob.
Not yet, no. Cool. Okay, so does anyone else have closing thoughts?
Well, I think
You
Carl was
interrupted
still
me.
going. Yeah, Carl was.
Sorry.
Carl got
Sorry.
like one thought in.
I really liked that. There's a bunch of really cool establishing shots when you kind of watch it closely that I thought were really interesting.
There's a lot of
connects things.
shots of
Yeah.
eyeballs. There's a lot of eyeball shots.
Well, there's a lot of head, like neck up shots too. Very
Well, there's
close
just
up.
a lot of like, this is an intense action shot. Like, there's a lot of like, or like, what's the one shot where, I don't know what, it's just like right after the car chase or something where like Nick Cage gets off his motorcycle and there's like this shot that just like pans around him, like just like does this big like woof kind of
So-
shot.
It's
And
when
I'm
he
like,
gets out of the Lamborghini.
yeah,
'cause
and I'm
he's
like,
looking for a
what
ride,
is happening?
Yeah.
That whole chase scene is very Michael Bay because there's like
It is.
when I watched it, I was like, this is such a great scene, but it's like every time they turn a corner, there's something else to run into.
I did really
It
enjoy
felt like
though.
that whole thing, like people walking across the street with a piece of glass just so that they could run through
Yeah.
the piece of glass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I did really enjoy though, like when he enters that like mechanic shop or whatever it is, he's like in a warehouse right before he like bursts out through the window.
Yeah.
And he has this moment and I'm just like, I get it. I agree. Where he's just like, what the hell? It's like, oh, why
Guess
not?
we're doing it. Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, why not? And he just like bursts through. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, that's
Yeah.
where you'd be.
So, and I'll leave my final point, I guess, to like the Nicolas Cage question that Pete posed at the beginning.
Is
And
he
I
a
would
good actor?
Is he a good actor? And I will say that this movie is a good example that he has the potential for like acting really well in he has the ability to be a good actor. And
I'll
kind of mirror this to one of my favorite actors, which is Arnold Schwarzenegger. And a lot of people will look at his film repertoire and say, he can't act. He's just muscles and action star. But I have a friend who's known me for a long time. He knows I'm a big Arnie fan, and he thought I was crazy. But then he ended up watching the movie. I think what is it called? It's like one of the first movies that Arnold Schwarzenegger and Stallone did together. Prison Escape or something like that. And there's a scene in that movie where Arnold is speaking in his native tongue. He's like in a literal hot box or something. And he's freaking out. And my buddy came back and he's like, I've seen this movie and this scene. I was like, you're right. He is a good actor. He has the potential to be a good actor. He just, yeah. So this is a good example of, in the right role, this guy's an amazing actor. Because I buy throughout the whole film that he is not meant for field work, but he is a very capable biochemist.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I agree.
That's fair.
Yeah. I was about to agree with a point because I just watched an Arnold film this week that I hadn't seen, but I'm going to save that for our.
the what you
I'm going to
watched.
save it. Yeah, I'm
Okay,
gonna
save it for the what have you watched?
Yeah, it'll happen. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, is that it? Are we
Are you good?
we
Carl?
ready?
Oh yeah. That's
Perfect.
Okay.
We are good.
Peter,
Move on.
Alice, Mackenzie. What on a scale of 0 to 10 do you give The Rock?
Okay. Nostalgia played true. I would totally watch this again. I gave it a 6 out of 10. Not as high as you'd expect, but a solid 6. I don't need to see it in theaters. Don't need to pay premium access, but I totally, it's totally worth throwing on a streaming site that I own periodically, and I totally will watch this again. Yeah.
Carl,
Man,
banana,
Wait, he's not done. Let him finish.
Oh, banana.
Banana.
monkeys, taint, McGee. What? What on a scale of 0 to 10 would you give this film?
I think I'd give it. Oh man, I would.
By
give
the
it
way, I'm
a
expect.
7.
Wait. Okay. Well, I mean, you've already disproved my point. I was expecting you to give it an unreasonably irrational.
Like 9.8.
I was
As
expecting
far
you
as-
to be like, oh, it's a 10 out of
Here's
10.
the thing. This is like you said,
The
I
Rock.
love my action movies, and this is definitely up there. I don't think it's my favorite action movie of all time.
Sure.
But it's definitely up there. So like 7.5, it's pushing 8, but like you guys always say, you got to leave some room for other stuff. So I would say 7.5.
Okay.
Gotta
I'm
leave
using
room for
Pete's
national
thing-
treasure.
If I'm using if I'm using like Pete's watch it scale, like I paid for it.
Yeah.
I have no regrets.
There you go.
I would rent it. I would go to the theater and watch it.
I am
Does your-
happy that in the span of a few months, Carl has gone from hating my wonky system to now using it. And that is the sign of never give up and just persist till people conform to your beliefs.
Carl, does your wife know that you paid for it unnecessarily?
Not yet, and she never will because I know she doesn't listen.
Oh,
Whoa.
ouch.
I'll probably tell her eventually.
Doesn't listen to the podcast, you mean?
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
she doesn't listen
okay.
to me either. But
Yeah, see, that was crucial. All you said was she never listens.
She
and I'm
never
like,
listens.
whoa, it's not the show we're running here.
Dirty laundry.
I'm shocked.
So Brady, uptight, tight pants, Jones. What did you give it?
Well, I'm glad you asked me, actually, because last week, I'm pretty sure it was last week,
I think
Pete
it was
like
2 weeks ago, yeah.
ready to
It was-
continue the show, and he just didn't ask me what I...
Like Brady was like, "Hey Pete, what do you
show
give
is
the
it?
score?" And I'm like, "All right, I gave it. See you next week, folks."
Yeah, it was Space
Yeah,
Jam.
I'm
I
like,
just finished
oh,
listening to it
Space
today.
Jam. That's what it was. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you want to know what I thought of it? Like, what?
And I was like, yeah.
I'm shocked. Because I give it a 7.9. I gave it the highest freaking score.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
good. It was good. It was
Okay.
fun. It was, it doesn't
Converting
make
you
the
action
top
movie ways.
It doesn't make the top 10 by any means. Probably doesn't make the top 20.
Sure.
It might make the top 50 though. Which sounds vague, but really, like, if I factor in, I've seen hundreds of movies. So to bump yourself into the top 50, that's saying something. Like, that's,
Yeah.
it might even be, well, I don't know if it'd be top 40. I'm not confident saying that, but I do feel like there's a potential for top 50. So yeah, it at the end of the day, it far exceeded my expectations. Far exceeded them. I was not looking forward to watching it. I was like, there was, honestly, swear to God, there was a moment where I was like, there's a moment yesterday where I was like, maybe I should just like text Pete and say like, hey, do you want to just like you and Carl do the episode? And,
I have to admit, I did pick up on some vibes about that. But I was like,
Yeah.
let's do The Rock with Carl. And you're like, I have a dentist appointment at 9
I think
p.m.
I
that
sent you.
night.
Yeah, I was like, I need to get my fallopian tubes tied or something. Some
Something.
ridiculous, like didn't make any sense. But yeah, no, I
the
was like,
tractor's broke on the farm. I gotta fix it. It's
yeah,
gonna be
yeah.
a thing.
I have to have my wisdom teeth out again.
Again.
But no, I'm glad I watched it. It was I am glad I watched it. It was good. It was good.
The thing that is interesting, and I'm going to pull a play out of Brady's book here about making a commitment on the show, not priorly giving Brady warning about this. If you enjoyed this film, Brady, and we're already 2/3 of the way through the
I
Nicolas
don't
Cage
think you've
trifecta,
ever done this. You've never done this. You've never put me on the spot in an ultimatum on the show. I do it to you all the time. I'm
do
like,
it all
dude,
the time.
wax your pubes or don't. It's for the orphans. And you're like, oh, dude, I don't like. What am I gonna do?
What I'm going to say is we're going to do Face Off with Carl in the future at some point.
Sure.
He's got to come back. We got to complete the trifecta.
I will
And I got to
one-up
say,
you.
Brady, it's the wildest ride on the roller coaster.
Yeah.
It is just...
Out of the
I will-
three, it's the most
I will one-up you.
nonsensical.
I will one-up you.
I'm ready for it.
We will do Face Off
Okay.
in the near future,
Okay.
and I will drive to town,
Ooh,
and the three
spicy.
of us will watch in person, record in person,
Yeah.
film it,
Down.
Yep.
and drink scotch out of Carl's fancy scotch glasses that he kickstarted like 6, 7, 8 years ago.
They're a they're
I
now
mean,
like one of the most popular.
I didn't think my ultimatum could have been topped, but you did, and I'm impressed.
All right.
And I'm
upped
It's gonna
to
happen.
say it's signed and where it's happening is an understatement.
Wait,
Make
when
it
I'm doing
happen.
it, I think I have a thing.
I've got the rest of the night, so if you get Brady, if you can make it up here, let's go.
I can't.
So
I gotta-
listen.
Change
I don't
the
wanna
headlight
break any
fluid on my
hearts.
Car.
I don't want to break any hearts, but I almost was there tonight for this,
Fair enough.
My heart's
but it didn't. It didn't work out. Okay, so listen. Before
some
we've started doing some news on the show. Before we talk about what we watched this week, so there's just I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things I want to brush over very quickly. One, it came out this week in an interview that Josh Brolin, everyone knows and loves Josh Brolin, was passed up in favor of Ben Affleck for Batman. Josh Brolin was almost our Batman.
in the DCU.
It was almost instead of Ben Affleck.
I would have
And-
bought that over Ben Affleck.
Yeah.
not a Ben Affleck
So you
fan,
don't like
no.
the Ben Affleck one, eh?
I don't like Ben Affleck.
I didn't think I liked it till I watched it.
Yeah. It would have been different, and I don't know if he could have gone toe to toe with Henry Cavill in Batman v Superman. But I do think it would have been good. Like, I think Josh Brolin could be a great Batman. I think Josh Brolin could be a great, and this is we're about to go 10 miles over Pete's head here, but Carl's about to get engaged. Josh Brolin as Thomas Wayne in a Flashpoint story.
Oh, dude! Yeah, hell yeah!
So, Pete, Flashpoint is basically the concept is Bruce died that night instead of his parents, and then
Oh, dang.
in the name of vengeance, Thomas Wayne becomes the Batman.
Huh.
And Mama Wayne becomes the Joker,
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
like a grief-stricken, mentally insane Joker.
yeah.
messed
Wouldn't that work?
I guess
Yes,
it would
that would
work.
totally work. He's way more suited to Thomas Wayne Batman. I would
Yeah.
definitely-
Age-wise, you mean, right?
Well, just look-wise too.
Yeah.
'cause
Well, look,
Thomas
it's just
Wayne
kind of
Batman is very doesn't care
Demeanor-wise.
what he looks like. Like he's stubbly and
Yeah.
doesn't shave and like
Yeah.
Like, we're talking about a man that played a young Tommy Lee Jones in Men in Black 3. Like, if you're able to channel Tommy Lee Jones, you're old as dirt. Like, that's just how that works. Next thing, Spider-Man Across the Universe Part 1 or Volume 1, whatever it is, has been delayed to 2023. Very sad. Very sad about that.
I heard a
You know
rumor
what?
that he was done making movies.
Who?
Rumor, but I don't
Who?
know how substantial that is.
Who is this?
What's his man's name? Spider-Man. Tom Holland.
Oh, no. Spider-Man. No. Across the Universe.
Oh,
Sequel
this is
to
the
Into
animated.
the Universe. Yeah.
That's delayed?
The
That's too bad.
what's his name? Oh, why can't I think of it? Who plays the Black Spider-Man?
Noir?
Who's the
Nicolas
character?
Cage plays
Miles
Noir.
Morales. Miles Morales. The Miles Morales Spider-Man movie animated thing.
Yeah.
Which actually Nick Cage was in the first one as Spider-Man Noir.
Yeah.
That was so unexpected, but it was so good.
It worked.
It worked
Yeah.
very well.
Listen, Bill Murray. So Bill Murray just had a production shut down. that he was in the process of filming because of accusations against Bill Murray for inappropriate conduct on set.
Yeah, I heard of that.
Now, we don't know, this could be Bill Murray keeps licking the bottom of people's feet. This could be Bill Murray is, we don't know. We just know. Yeah, all we know is inappropriate conduct. It seems so bizarre, though, just because of his age and how long he's been in the industry, right?
Well, he seems like a bizarre dude.
Yeah, but you're like,
Was he
you're
just
like,
acting
okay,
weird and somebody took it wrong.
You're like, you find out that Kevin Spacey is scum, and you're like, oh, okay, Kevin Spacey is scum. Like, that sucks. He was a great actor. You find out James Franco is a piece of shit, and you're like, okay, well, that sucks. Yeah. Like, I didn't know. However the Johnny Depp Amber Heard thing is going to turn out. We each have our own opinions. Like we've said before, we're not going to weigh into what we believe on this show. But you're like, okay, yeah, whatever. But Bill Murray?
Have you heard details? Like all I've heard is inappropriate. Like
inappropriate conduct is all we've heard.
Or what? Or
and what does that? Yeah, like what does that mean?
Your mind, you can't help but wander to he's being sexually inappropriate.
Inappropriate could be he was wandering around naked on set.
Right, in which case my productions would be shut down. But that's like, but what I'm getting to is like, when you hear inappropriate conduct, I think just because of like the media world that we live in now, your mind wanders to, okay, it's some sort of like he's hitting on women or he's making sexual passes. Yeah. And it's like, but Bill Murray, like, it kind of feels, in some ways, it feels like the Bill Cosby thing all over again, I guess, where you're like, really? But it's Bill Cosby. It's the guy behind Fat Albert, the Say No to Drugs guy. He's drugging women? Like, what? What are you talking about? And so, we don't have any real details about the Bill Murray thing, but it's enough that the production has been shut down, costing the studio hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars. And so, whatever it is, it's not nothing.
Right.
And so it's worth pondering. Next up, so CinemaCon was this week. What's today? Today is Thursday. Yeah, CinemaCon was this week. And Pete, we talked about CinemaCon last year, and I can't believe it was a year ago.
Yeah.
But for those who don't know what CinemaCon is, basically it is a massive convention in the States in Las Vegas where movie studio representatives, owners, whatever, film pundits, blah, 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 go, and all of the different studios will hold panels. Like you go and you sit and you watch presentations from Sony, from Disney, from Universal, Paramount, Lionsgate, blah, blah, blah. And they talk about the movies they're coming, that they've got coming out. We talked about this because a year ago when CinemaCon happened, I told you that there was an audience that at CinemaCon, an entire audience was unexpectedly shown Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Right.
That they were just like, hey, we're really excited about the new Ghostbusters movie, and here it is.
Here you go.
And they just watched it. So anyway, CinemaCon happened this week. A bunch of stuff happened. An audience was shown Top Gun Maverick, and apparently it is everything and more that you're expecting it to be. All of the nostalgia, terrible? All of the tear-jerking, all of the, blah, 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 including a tear-jerking cameo from Val Kilmer.
Oh.
Ooh, cool.
That is cool.
Who, considering the documentary he put out like a year and a half ago with his throat cancer, the man can't even talk. So I don't think any of us were really expecting him to be in this film. But apparently he is, and it's difficult to watch. But one of the things that came out at CinemaCon is promos that we've yet to see, but that have confirmed, Carl might get excited for this, for a 4th installment in the Expendables franchise.
Yeah.
What? That's like pornography to your
It's really
psychographic.
good. Like, they're great. I think they're here's my thing with the Expendables. The first one was awesome because it was like all these action heroes from the heyday on one screen together doing cool action stuff. But it's kind of like by the third one, it's kind of like Fast and the Furious. It's like, okay, this is the nostalgia is gone. Like the big draw to that franchise really was the nostalgia for me, I think.
right.
Good
That's
action films, not top tier, but yeah. The great thing about the third one is they brought it. Arnold had played more of a role, and I think it was the third one that they had a little cameo from Chuck Norris, and
Right. I remember hearing about that.
rattlesnake bit him and died.
And the Arnold thing, like, no, it wasn't in that one. It was in the first Escape Plan. Because, like, very famously, Arnold and Stallone
They had a
hated
feud.
each other.
They didn't hate each other, but they had like a
They were
professional
competition
feud
to each other.
Yeah, like who's going to make more money at the box office with the next action film.
And then they finally
Really?
worked together in the Escape Plan, and it was like the burying of a hatchet
Yeah,
type of thing.
yeah, very much so.
Yeah.
And was a great action flick.
What about you, Pete? Have you seen the Expendable films? Does this interest you at all?
Not my cup of tea. Not my cup of tea.
Shocker.
It's not in black
me
and
neither.
white. He doesn't care.
Me neither. I haven't seen. I think I've watched part of the first one back when, like, it might have been on Netflix at one point, and I was like, yeah, whatever. I'll see what this is about.
And just for time, like first one, would that have been like mid 2000s, or what are we talking for those?
2000 mid-teens.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Early teens?
2010, 2015,
Right.
somewhere in there.
Somewhere in
I would say early 2010s.
Expendables. 2010.
There you go.
Bam. Right
Yeah,
on.
2010, 2012, 2014, 2022. So that's been 8 years.
Yeah. It like especially with the last one felt like they were passing the torch to a bunch of younger actors who I didn't even recognize any of them.
Yeah, see, at that point, you're like,
Yeah, what are we doing here?
confirmed for the new one is Sly, Statham, Dolph
A lot of the original-
Lundgren,
Dolph Lundgren was the Russian who Rocky Balboa fought.
and Randy Couture.
Randy Couture. He's an
Couture.
MMA guy.
Yeah. Additionally,
Yeah, it's a lot of the same cast. I seen a set
Eddie
photo with
Hall,
all the
Curtis,
cast. Looked like a pretty good lineup.
50 Cent. Eddie Hall,
Cent is in it?
50 Cent, Megan Fox, Tony
What?
Ja, Andy Garcia. Yeah, so like a bunch of like newer, but yeah, like what is that makes less
50
sense
Cent
than
doing
Ice
in it?
Cube.
At least Ice Cube's got
At least he's an actor,
credentials.
kind of. And finally, so we just recently had Warner Brothers was purchased by Discovery,
I thought you were
making
gonna say
it
Disney.
making it no longer by Elon Musk. No longer making it Warner Brothers, but making it the Warner Discovery Corporation or something like that. And a couple of things have come out of that. One is that David Zaslav, the new CEO, seems to be geared towards getting the DCEU on track, including hiring and appointing. So it's no secret that one of the massive driving forces behind the success of the MCU has been one Kevin Feige. one producer who is kind of overseeing everything, had a lot more control before Bob Chapek took over at Disney over Bob Iger. That's a whole Disney political thing we won't get into. But the DCEU has kind of lacked that.
It hasn't an engineer keeping things on the rails.
Well, and it hasn't been its own studio. See, Marvel is its own studio. Star Wars is its own studio with Kathleen Kennedy. Jeez. different person altogether. Kathleen Kennedy. But DC has just been Warner Brothers Films. So the DCEU, DC is now going to be its own studio. With its own Kevin Feige that has not yet been appointed. We don't know who that's going to be. One of the changes that is coming, so we've been talking a lot about Ezra Miller and his transgressions and what will happen with the new, very exciting upcoming Flash film with the return of the greatest Batman of all time, Michael Keaton. And so, but also coming, so we've talked about how that film is seeming like it's going to serve as a reset to the DCEU. It's going to it's the Flash and it's kind of like a Flashpoint story. So he's going to reset the timeline using time travel and whatever else. Comics. Just like in the comics, and they're going to try to dig their way out of the shithole that they've created with the DC universe.
So for those who don't know, the Flashpoint is like back to the drawing board start. Everybody gets new origin stories in the comic books.
So New 52. So the idea behind Flash is Flash discovers if he travels fast enough, then he can actually travel through time. And as a kid, the Flash's mother is killed by someone named the Reverse Flash, who comes from the future. But instead of, he just is kind of like this super Flash fast blur. And so who ends up taking the fall for it is Barry Allen's father, who is actually innocent, but he spends his life in prison, blah, blah, blah. And so when Flash discovers, hey, I'm able to travel through time, one of the things, of course, like, what are you going to do? You're going to go back and you're going to save your mom and you're going to stop your dad from going to jail wrongfully. But as Back to the Future taught us, time travel always screws shit up. And so that's kind of the idea, we think, behind the new Flash film, and that it's going to change the universe moving forward, because Ben Affleck, who is appearing in The Flash, this is set to be his final Batman appearance, but also Michael Keaton is in this film and is in the Batgirl movie. Now, this Batgirl movie was set to be an HBO Max exclusive, an HBO original, as was the upcoming DC film, the Blue Beetle movie. Now, the Blue Beetle movie a little while ago got a theatrical release. They said, hey, we're going to skip over the HBO thing. We're going to go do theatrical. Now, under new management, there are reports that Batgirl will also get the same treatment and be moved to theatrical. This is following, obviously, during the pandemic, Warner Brothers was the studio that said, hey, all of the films that we were going to put in theaters, we are going to release anyways, but we are going to put them on HBO. Simultaneously pissing off the directors, the producers, the theaters, the studios, everybody. They just pissed off all of their financial, whatever. And you had films like Matrix, which didn't deserve to succeed anyways because it was so bad. But did very poorly, dumped on HBO Max. Just lots of films, right? Lots of films. It was not so bad for us because, we signed up for HBO Max and we were able to review films for a year without going to the theater. But yeah, it wasn't good for movies. What are your thoughts, Carl, on the Batgirl getting moved to getting moved to theaters? And do you think this is the right move? I mean, it's potential that this is, it all depends. We've seen pictures posted online of the Batgirl costume, and it feels somewhat Arrowverse-y. Like it's kind of just like a leather jumpsuit and not so much like an actual maybe theatrical thing. So is this the right move, or is this just kind of like a continuation of poor business moves?
Well, I don't have a lot of much of a horse in this race because one, I'm not as big a fan of the DCU, and two, I don't find it that interesting. I don't know if I'd go and watch it. But in terms of a business move, I think it's smarter because
you wouldn't go see some. Someone's going to tell you Michael Keaton
to watch it.
Someone's going to tell you Michael Keaton's going to show up on screen again as Batman, and you're not going to go see it?
You asked me about Batgirl.
Yeah, but he's going to be in that movie.
Oh, I'll see him in The Flash.
There's been reports that he might actually be, like, when they reset, they might just be making Michael Keaton the Batman of the DCEU.
Just an old Batman.
Just old man Bruce.
Yeah.
At which point, like,
they just do Batman Beyond.
Yeah, who do you get in as Terry McGinnis?
Yeah,
at that point. Yeah.
That's what
are your thoughts, Pete?
Yeah, I'm not too aware of the whole Batgirl thing, but I'm open to seeing Michael Keaton back again. So I'm there for the Michael Keaton.
Yeah, I think as a business move, it's smart because you're going to probably get more profits at the box office than you will from new subscribers.
Oh, hands down.
Signing up because Batgirl.
That's what
Every
we saw.
time.
Like in the pandemic, things didn't do well just for home releases. So
yeah. Carl, what'd you watch this week, sir?
This week, oh man, I've watched a lot of stuff recently. But let's see. I finished Back to the Future trilogy with my family. So every Friday night is family movie night at my house, and we rotate between me, my wife, and my daughter who picks. Last week was my pick, and we finally finished Back to the Future trilogy. Watched Back to the Future 3. We also finished watching the Karate Kid trilogy over the last couple of months. But like the standouts would be, I'm going back more than a week, but the big standouts I watched like in the last couple of weeks would be the Army of series that's on Netflix. So there's Army of the Dead with John Batista.
Is this the Zack Snyder thing?
I think, yes. Army of the Dead is Zack Snyder, and it's not.
I want to see it.
It's not great.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
In terms of like, I like zombie flicks because of how
I was
usually a good zombie flick will be more about the
conflict
between humans in a crisis than of the
zombies. Is this the one that 10 minutes in you're like, oh, those are zombie strippers, and then I shut it off?
No.
Is this Army of? Wait, what am I?
It's a Netflix exclusive.
Yeah.
It's got John Batista in it as the lead. But yeah, the whole movie, there's so many scenes, especially once they get into Vegas.
Zack Snyder,
stop talking and run. Strippers. Stop talking and get on the helicopter. There's just so many times that they're in this crisis situation and they decide to monologue, and you're just it's horrible. But we actually watched Army of Thieves, which is the sequel, but it's a prequel. You know, it was made after Army of the Dead, but it's a sequel to Army of the Dead, and it is way better. Prequel, it is a heist movie, and it is an amazing heist movie. It's really fun. It's worth watching, and it's got really a different director because the director is the lead actor, who is also in Army of the Dead.
It sounds like there may also be a sequel coming, like a proper continuation.
Anyway, It's really good. My wife and I had a few discussions about how it came about, the film came about, the Army of Thieves, because the director is the lead actor, and it's almost like the actor who was in Army of Dead was like, this movie sucks. I could do better. And I really like my character, so I'm just going to do a prequel to my character as a standalone movie. And it's awesome. It is so much. It's really good. It's a great heist movie, and I recommend it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, those are a few things that I've watched recently. Outside of also the Adam Project, and I watched the Michaels versus the Machines this past Saturday with my daughter in the morning again. She's been watching movies instead of cartoons in the morning, so it's been cool.
Oh, because she's such a big fan of our show. What'd you watch this week, Pete?
I watched the 2022 film, or maybe it was late 21. It was postponed, so I forget when it actually originally released. Death on the Nile, the sequel to Murder on the Orient Express. I was disappointed. I saw the first one in theaters years ago, and I thought it was okay. And then just people were talking up to me like, hey, you know, you've got Kenneth Branagh, and he was great in the first one. So it made me think about, okay, maybe I overlooked some things. And then you see the sequel, and it's based on a book, and, you know, it's, you know, the Nile, and it's mystery, like what's not to love. And I just was quite disappointed. I gave it like a 4 out of 10. It was just...
It needed more pointless explosions.
Yeah, that's what it was missing on the Nile. No, it just like the mystery was kind of flat, the delivery was kind of flat, and just like the use of setting something on the Nile in Egypt, it was kind of like a underuse, and they could have done a little bit better. So I was a little disappointed, and I wonder if I think I'm wondering if this whole tandem series is a little overhyped. But what about you, Brady? What did you watch this week?
Oh, you want to know? Okay.
That is never going to get let down.
He's going to hold that over you.
It's very, very interesting. Okay.
Even when you're in the ground, he's going to...
Well, I watched a couple of things. I watched Death on the Nile.
You watched it? No way.
Did. Yeah. I really like Kenneth Branagh as the Hercule Poirot character. I appreciated the explanation for the mustache. I thought that was kind of some unnecessary background fluff, but it was still fun.
Yeah.
I was proud of myself because I called it. I called it maybe 15 minutes before they revealed the answer to the case. And so I was very, very proud of myself for that. I was like, yes.
Sure.
I was like, it was this person, and these were the things that happened, and these were the reasons they happened, and this is why. This is why you would do that type of thing. So I was super excited with myself for calling it.
That is cool.
Because in the first one, I was like, nobody could call that. And how do you top that? How do you top? I won't spoil the new one, but I'll spoil the first one because it's so old now. I was like, in the end of...
Actually, wait, don't ruin it, because I am planning on rewatching the first one.
Oh, you don't remember?
I don't. It's been...
Okay. Never mind. I just didn't know how you topped the first one as far as like a twist and a reveal. Right. So I'm like, okay, like I don't know how but I was like, okay. And I don't think it topped it, but it was okay. And I do really like Kenneth Branagh as that character. So, but I resonate with your point. I was like, yeah, okay, I get that. Like, it's on the Nile in Egypt.
Yeah.
And there's like the tomb thing sort of at the beginning, but what comes of that? Briefly. A falling rock?
Yeah.
Like, and you're like, okay, we're over it now.
Yeah.
We started watching Uncharted.
Oh, okay.
Look, we didn't finish it.
Ooh.
It wasn't a bad movie. And I haven't played the games. But my understanding is that it's an amazing game series. And
you went to the theater and you didn't finish it? Is it only out in theaters?
No, it was released.
Oh, okay.
No, we watched it, yeah. And I was like...
The games are great. I would say I've played almost all the games, and they're all hits.
Yeah, so I was like, look, it's not a bad movie, but my understanding is that it's an amazing video game. And amazing video games are hard to come by. There are good video games. But amazing video games, like the Mass Effect series and apparently Uncharted, like, and the Arkham series, like, these are hard to come by.
Games with really good, deep narrative.
Yeah. And so I, watching it, I was like, this is not a bad movie, but I can understand how if you were a big fan of the game, like this is not a bad movie, but it's not as good a movie as a amazing video game is a game. And so I can understand if you're like super invested in that, how you would watch this and think, oh, this is really bad.
Yeah. And it's hard to make those good games into movies. It's not.
You're never gonna.
It's not new. That problem. Like
No,
it seems to like. I don't think any video game has been properly translated to the silver screen.
No,
And
maybe there was a lot of criticism about.
Maybe that says something, though.
Having said that, the second attempt, Hitman Agent 47, I didn't mind that film.
That one was good. Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a struggle, and vice versa. Like video games there's only 2 video games that I've ever played that were based on movies where the video game was incredible. Incredible.
I personally think that has more to do with the budget that developers are given, but
yeah, they're just thrown.
That's a different story.
Maybe 3. Maybe 3. So there was a Punisher game that actually featured Thomas Jane, and it was based on the Thomas Jane Punisher movie.
Yeah, I know the game. That was good.
And it was good. The iconic Spider-Man 2 video game.
Right.
Yeah.
Changed the name of video games. Changed the name of Spider-Man games. It was the first Spider-Man game where you could like actually go down on the streets and like
Yeah.
like it was amazing.
PS1 one, it was like this foggy cloud that
and you would just fall down and die or something.
Yeah. There was a narrative reason for it, but it still felt weird.
Yeah.
And then the video game, this is going back forever ago, but the video game based on Peter Jackson's King Kong movie was better than it had any right being. It was a really good first-person shooter, dinosaurs and monsters and, whatever else. But, so Uncharted, take it or leave it. And then I rewatched Hamilton.
Wow.
That is good. Yeah, I watched that.
Yeah.
It's
this past year. It was really fun.
Yeah.
What Lin-Manuel Miranda did lyrically is phenomenal. Is incredible. Like his reuse of lyrics throughout it, his foreshadowing, his use of themes, I was watching an interview just this past week with him, and someone was asking him, like, it's an older interview, but this is when I was watching it, and they were asking him, like, do you think you'll ever make a sequel or like a follow-up to Hamilton? And he's like, I could never make a sequel that would be as good or would capture. He's like, I don't even know how I did Hamilton. Like
the eye of the hurricane.
Yeah, he's like, there's no point. There's no point in trying to do that again, right? So he's doing stuff like, but I mean, he just won an Oscar for Moana, right? Like he's
Encanto.
Encanto, sorry, wrong film.
Yeah,
yeah, Encanto.
The songs are very similar in how
they feel like Hamilton songs. Yeah, right? And like he did all the songs because he's in, and he did a lot of the music, if not all of the music, for the sequel to Mary Poppins. Now, it's a horrible film.
Horrible.
But not because of the music, right?
Sure.
The music is like, you're like, this is actually not bad music. You're just like, but that's clearly not Julie Andrews. Please go home. Like, I love Emily Blunt. Emily Blunt is fantastic, but she's not Mary Poppins. What are you doing? Why are you lying to me? Like, what is,
what sick dream is this?
Julie Andrews can age. Give me one set in the 70s and make it Mary Poppins is allowed to age. Give me one set in the 70s and give me Julie Andrews back. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
What is wrong with you? Yeah. I think that'd be great. Old lady Mary Poppins, right? She's like all pissy and stuff. I don't know. So that's what I watched this week.
She's not happy anymore. She believes in corporal punishment.
Oh my God.
Before we wrap this up, can I like to do this. I like to put you put me on the spot. earlier in this episode.
You may put me on the spot, and I shall return in suit. I have something to put you on the spot. So you first.
Okay. Can I extend an invitation to Carl to return to this show?
Sure.
Can I?
I think so.
Carl, in 2 weeks' time, we're going to sit down and talk Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness, and there's few people I can think of who I would rather have tag along.
Honestly, I was shocked I wasn't here for Spider-Man, especially after the
After the what?
The touching.
Listen,
you were here in spirit.
The groping.
The way you say that, it's not like I was like touching you inappropriately. It was just like two friends.
You were pretty high on the thigh, at least once.
Don't want accusations to start flying. That
there was call for some sauerkraut for the sausage.
Okay, that's fine. 2 times, maybe I dressed inappropriately. 3 times, it's all you.
All right. You don't need to answer now, but in the next 10 minutes.
Are we going to go watch it together?
No, probably not. I mean, you and Pete probably can. Mm-hmm. Unless you're going to drive here and see it in IMAX. Ooh. Just saying, if you're picking up what I'm putting down. But we'll figure that out. We'll figure out those details. Pete, wrap this up, sir.
My back to you is I want you to wrap it up in the tongues of Sean Connery.
Oh, my God. All right. Well, thank you for watching. If you don't subscribe to all of the social medias that we have down below, then you're a fucking idiot. And that's about all I have to say. I'm going to go have sex with a woman on a boat now and take a look at my collection of toupees.
I need a shot of atropine.